Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Monday, December 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 1 of 2024, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 50 degrees with a high of 59 and a low of 46. Welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles and laughs, pretty pictures, and of course the what, the how, and the why of adult coloring. In other words, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing that particular technique. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That is always fun. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who watch this broadcast after the fact. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who'll see this broadcast when I download it into my group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, which I highly suggest you join that group because that's where you will get your free buddy colors. For example, this is a free buddy color from one of my books. So we're currently working on our sugar plum fairies danced in their head. This is the book. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And it's got all the pictures and the related verses all the way through it. So people who purchase this book now, what they're going to do is they're going to color it over 2024 and then use it for Christmas next year for kids and grandkids. Okay. The second image that I'm working on for you, this is our mice from Christmas Magic. This is a Ruth Sanderson book. Love this book, highly recommend it. It is really cute. We've done this picture. I'm pretty sure we did this picture. I'll have to check that out. I know we did this one. All right. So that'll be the second image I'm working on tonight. We may even be able to finish this little puppy and then we'll have a new image to start working with. Okay. So let me grab my paper towel. You should always have a paper towel underneath your hand to keep things clean. And then, of course, your scratch paper. Test out your colors. Okay. So, guys, let's see who's in here tonight. Hello, Maggie. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday to one and all. Hello, Lori. Hello, Amy. Hello, Mamie. Carmen, Tammy, hello, Janie. All right. So, do me a favor. Hit that like button. And please share the link to your Facebook timeline so that people can come in while I'm live. All right. So guys, how's your day today? Win, lose, or draw? Maggie and Allie have been making cookies. Hi, Karen. Okay, Amy, thank you. Maggie said that they were making a thing called, what is it, stress cookies? I guess it's oatmeal and peanut butter. I assume that you bake them. So Mamie says draw. Carmen says draw. How about the rest of you? Win, lose, or draw today, guys? I'm going to say draw. Oh, Janie says lose. Karen draw. Lori draw. Amy draw. Maggie win. The cookies turned out great. Do you bake them? Janie, what's going on? You said lose. Okay. What about the rest of you? So we're working on our quilted blanket. Your husband has to get another car. His is rated out. What does that mean? Oh, rotted out. Oh. That happens. Okay, I'm going to continue on our quilt. Last night we worked on the top part of it here, which has a satin look to it. That was the idea. Oh, wouldn't pass inspection. Hello, Blossom. Okay, I'm going to continue working down the quilt. That's right, Blossom. You're just in time to see me work on the quilt. Okay, I'm going to use a fleshy color. This is my cinnamon color, my Faber-Castell. This is a 189. Now, I don't want you guys fussing if you don't get exactly the same spot that I'm working on. So I'm putting this one above my red here. And then I'm going to go over to the left next to my pink satin part. Oh, Carmen, I'm sorry. Come back if you can. Let's see how to best do this for you. There's a tan spot here at the top. And then I'll go straight down. Here we've got like a little triangle area. And again, don't worry about getting the exact quilt piece. If you can get close, get close. Okay, then I'm going to move down a little further. I'm at the very bottom, right above the D. So Blossom says, I can't believe it's already going to be a new year. This year went by like a flash. Okay, let's slide over to the right. Who has New Year's plans this year? Okay, let's go up by the pillow. Maggie's going to a kid's party. Mamie, you said you've got plans. Lori's gonna sit home and eat White Castle burgers. Woo-hoo. Janie, you work all week, you probably won't make it to midnight. Blossom, my New Year's Eve plan is to barbecue here, nice, quiet, and relaxing evening. There you go. Okay. I'm directly under our two little monkey dolls. I'm probably going to be, if things work out, stuffing my face with pizza. And I may even treat myself to chicken wings. We'll see. Okay, now I'm going to slide down, and right above the word in, we'll put our tan patch. Yeah, I may even get some crazy bread too. Oh, Laura, you had pizza and Christmas wing, or right, pizza and wings Christmas Eve. Oh, Maggie, thank you so much. Maggie just sent me $20, and she said chicken wings on me. Oh, Maggie. Thank you so much. Oh, great. Now I'm going to get teary. You guys are the best. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, Karen, you'll be back in a few minutes. Well, now I can have pizza, pizza, chicken wings, and crazy bread. Okay, I'm going to go over to the far right. Okay, Lori, thank you. Oh, you bet I'll enjoy it. Okay, let me pull out. Now again, don't worry about hitting the exact blocks with the exact colors. I mean, use the colors that I'm using, but disperse them like I'm showing you. And you know that we're going to play around with this quilt. Okay. Now I'm back up near the top and I'm underneath my red block. Who's coloring this with me tonight? Okay, Blossom. Blossom's doing a BRB, but she can still hear. All right, we cannot trash talk Blossom because she can still hear what I'm saying. All right. Now, this printout on mine gets a little light up here at the top. So Janie and Maggie, you're coloring with me tonight? Geez, Maggie, thanks again. Now, on these little squares that have decoration on them, we're going to go back. We'll take care of that. Right now, we're just getting our base colors in. And I'll tell you what, this is going to really turn out to be pretty. Kitty, hello. Okay, I'm about midway down now. On top of the word in. And guys, take your time. What do I always tell you? Skim in your colors, right? And then we'll go back and decorate up this quilt. See, Blossom heard me talking. Okay, Karen, you're back. Good. Hey, Sandy. Blossom, you're working on the Mother Earth picture. Okay. Now, let's go to the far right. Now, notice how with the one color, you know how you always hear about coloring in layers. This is all about filling in your areas and using your one pencil to get the intensity that you want. All right, let's slide up underneath the pillow. And then I'm going to slide over right underneath the point here of this pillow. We'll go down a little bit where this pattern is. Oh, Sandy, you finished your Beauties in the Moonlight pic and posted it. Cool. Let me find it. We'll take a quick look at it. Oh, that's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Sandy, did you enjoy doing it? And then Janie sent a book, not a book, but a picture. This is her seaside picture. Isn't that pretty? Janie, did you post it in the group? I really like that striped pink background. Isn't that pretty? I assume that that's just all Prismacolor. Yeah, she's going nuts with her new pencils. Love the stripes. Alrighty. Janie, is this, let's see. Is this the book that you wanted? Yeah. Is this the book that you wanted to send the group? Grandparents' coloring book? That cover is beautiful. Well, I'll coordinate with you after the broadcast and we'll figure out how to get it there. Whoop. I think the group would enjoy it. Yeah, there's no author listed on the front. I don't know who the author is. Okay. Let's get a little more purple here. And I'm right underneath my pillow. Now I'm going to come in with a medium blue. I'm still in the upper right hand corner by that pillow. Again, take your time. All right. And let's roll over to the right. Now, don't forget that some of these squares we've colored in with our ivory. So don't color over those again. All right, let's come down here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snag a light blue. And I'm going to put my light blue at the top here. Blossom, your thumb number 7. Okay. I hope Grace comes in tonight. She seemed to enjoy what we were doing last night. Now notice how I'm blending that light blue over that darker blue edge. Oh, Grace, I just mentioned you. There she is. I just said, I wonder if Grace is going to come in tonight. She seemed to really enjoy herself last night. That's what I said. Okay. I'm going to come up to the top directly underneath our little monkey dolls. And then I'm going to come in with the light blue. And I'm going to go over the top of that and blend that in. Okay, now these two here are ivory, so you don't want to touch those. But I am going to put my blue right next to this purple. And we'll come back over with a light blue. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a nice light green. Oh, Sandy, you got your Sounds of Christmas book. Oh, comes in Thursday. I think you're going to like it. All right. Now I'm going to put in some light pink, which I started to say plink, but I'm going to put my light pink to the tend it over to the right hand side, so I'm in the area where it says in their heads. In other words, I don't want to get too close to that part of the blanket that's right underneath the arm of the kids, because that's got a nice silky look to it. Grace, did you have a chance to print out this image? All right, let's go to the right here. Oh, you're waiting for the book? Okay, Linda just sent me a text that she won't be in tonight because she's not feeling well. All right, let's take a look at this puppy. Guys, if you want to send her a quick text, I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. Okay. I'm going to work a nice orange in the front here. Well, Linda, when you do watch the broadcast, we miss you. But yeah, send her a text. Okay. So I'm going to pop over to the right. We'll spread this orange out a little more. I'm going to finger blend that. How pretty. All right, let's pop up to the top here. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my ivory out. And we'll color up some of those squares. I've got plans for these. So did everybody get their flu and COVID shots? Oh, Blossom, congratulations. Now you'll notice that I'm being careful about not putting any blue near all our sugar plum stuff. And I'm doing that just to make sure that we don't get any confusion between our fairy dust and our blanket. All right, let's go down to this area here. All right. Now, let me get a gold pencil here. Blossom says I had, quote unquote, to order one for the new color pencils. Blossom's not going to let me say anything about you, Amy. Okay, now I've got a gold pencil here. And then I'm going to come in with a light blue. Take your time. Blossom took all the fun out of it, poking fun. And then we'll fill in with an orange right here. Okay, now let's get these few here on the right. Lower right hand corner here, above the word heads. Then we'll do a green. Remember, guys, work the process, right? And then we'll pop in another blue. Grace, you got awfully quiet. You still hanging with us? Okay. And then I'm going to roll up towards the top here under our little monkey dolls. Okay, I think I've got all my squares decorated, or at least colored in. Okay, Amy, thank you. Look how pretty that is. Okay. So Blossom says, see, this is why I can never finish my coloring pages as fast as everyone else. I chat too much. Everyone else is quiet and focused on their coloring. Blossom, I love the chat. Don't stop. Okay. Now, we've got a number of these quilt blocks that have little decorations on them, and this is where I'm going to pull out my water-based markers, and we're going to start adding these little extra doohickeys. Now, if anybody has any question, doohickeys is a perfectly acceptable term in the coloring world. Dohickey, doohickey. Or Dohickie, spelled doohickey.
Doohickey. Dohhickey.
Look at that. Doohickey. See, I was right. A small object or gadget, especially one whose name the speaker does not know or cannot recall. You learned something new. Dohhickey. And you thought I was making things up. Okay. So what we're going to do is these areas that have these little gray spots on them, we're going to fill that in. Hey, this place is a high level of learning, the halls of learning. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of orange here. So I've got pink and orange right here. Now these are our little spots that we had done in ivory. We'll put a little green on there. And then we'll put a little blue. And I'm just going to touch that with my finger to get the little puddles of water off. I'm going to fill that in with orange here. Okay. Now we've got 2 open blocks up here. Gosh, now I've got that stupid Mickey Mouse song in my mind. Mickey, Mouse, Mickey Mouse. Doohickey. We always have fun here. Doohickey. And ILene's gone off the deep end. Now, see how I'm adding the different colors? All right. Mickey. Okay, you can touch that just to get the little blobs off, the wet ones. Mouse. Okay, so all the colors now that you haven't been using in your water-based markers. Oh, the blending tune. Blending, 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 rawhide. That's right. All right, peeps, what's the #1 skill that you absolutely must master in adult coloring? All right, we've got a clear spot here. Grace says backgrounds and light placement. Good guess. Come on, guys, what's the #1 skill we need to master in adult coloring? Staying in the lines, according to my friend who sees you coloring. Blending. Thank you, Grace. And what's the definition of a proper blend? Okay, so there's some green there. Oh, let's see what we got. Grace says light to dark with no edges. More general than that, when one color what? Seamlessly disappears into another color. That's right. So, when I'm looking at your pieces, if I had to make a choice, I'm going to use a little bit of gray with this green. I would rather see you have lousy colors and top-notch blending rather than top-notch colors and terrible blending. Blending is the key. You've got to master that skill. Your blending is going to make or break your piece. Okay, now I'm going to go down towards the bottom. And we'll go ahead and fill in our patterns on our colored in blocks here. And I'm just going to touch that with my finger to get those little puddles off. Is everybody clear on our blending comment? Okay. I think I missed one quilted spot. One or two. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Here's what we've got so far. Now, Miss Amy, good night. Amy, you doing okay? Now, I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray. And I'm going to shade with it next to each of our blocks. Enjoy your walk, Amy. So I'll wish you Happy New Year's tomorrow night. Now, this is where it really gets important that you know how to skim your pencils. And I want you to notice that as I add this Payne's Gray, it really starts to bring out our depth, dimension, detail of our quilt. You really want a butterfly kiss on this gray between our quilted blocks. And I also want you to notice that as I'm adding this gray, see how I'm shading in this block, for example? It's a very, very subtle shading. And this is where it's going to be really important that you don't streak your gray. So not only am I doing my lines in between my little quilt pieces, but I'm also bringing the Payne's gray down onto the piece itself and shading it. Anybody have any questions about that? Now, it's going to look a little wonky in the beginning. Again, respect the process. So Blossom says, ILene, I saw my mother last night and showed her your coloring again. Showed her some of the stream from last night, the mouse picture, and this picture, and she was so in awe. Oh. Well, thank you for letting me know. Tell her she needs to start coming in. Trying to arrange a time with her to start watching your broadcast and coloring together. How neat that would be. Oh, she sends her compliments. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm going to take my finger and blend this. We want this looking very soft. Now, we need to show an indent in the quilt because the child's body is underneath it. So, starting at this red corner here, it'll drive you nuts to do this. I'm going to shade in the blanket, the quilt, so that it looks like there's an indentation there. Look how cool that looks. Oh, you'll be seeing her later tonight to plan and replay some of this broadcast for her. Blossom, remind me of your mom's name? And then of course I'll finger blend that. Mama Blossom. Everybody see how that blanket now is looking indented? Okay, Blossom, that's fine. Okay, now, starting in this corner here, I'm going to shade in another indentation. And be sure to curve it a little bit. And be sure to finger blend it. And notice how I'm coloring this little triangle area in. Okay, then another area where we're going to shade is this area right here where the blanket folds over on itself. And again, this is where skimming in your color is extremely important because we've got this Payne's Gray, which is a dark color, and you don't want to come in gangbusters with it. If you do, you could end up ruining the effect. finger blend. All right, and then I'm going to go back up to the top, and this area underneath the elbow, I'm going to shadow that as well. And all of this is being done with our Payne's Gray. I think you guys can see why I really like that color. Okay, I'm going to add some shadowing right here. Still using my Payne's Gray. And notice now how that arm really starts to come out with our depth dimension detail. And then I'm going to use some Payne's Gray around the outline of the arm, the blanket, the tip of the hat, or the scarf area here, underneath our hand, and down underneath our pillow. And it is absolutely critical that you do a proper blend and get that gray to evenly blend out into the next color. Otherwise, you're just going to have a streak of color and it isn't going to look good. So be sure to get that edge out of there. And then I'm going to come back here with my Payne's Gray and darken a little more right underneath that elbow. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to add a little bit of my gray underneath this edge of the blanket or sheet, whatever you want to call it. It's a blanket and then the quilt's on top. All right, let me pull out. Isn't that beautiful? Any questions at all how to do this? Now, I know that it's going to drive you nuts to put this gray on top of all this nice coloring that we did for the quilt pieces. But that's just part of it. You color in your pieces and then you shade on top. Okay, let's finish up the blanket here, or the quilt, the shading part of it. We're going to have just a little bit of shading towards the back end here. Very, very light stroke, guys. Finger blend. Would French gray be okay? Grace, let me swatch this Payne's gray and you can compare the two. There's Payne's gray. Here's black. Does that answer your question? Finger blend. Okay. Now, let's get back to putting in a little bit of gray in between our quilted pieces. just enough to give that little bit of depth that it's an actual quilted piece. You don't want your individual quilted blocks looking flat. So that's why we have to go ahead and add this edge. All right, that sound effect is great for the bladder, isn't it? Can everybody see how these squares are starting to become very dimensional? But again, you have to do it in such a way that it doesn't look like you just ran a streak of Payne's gray in between each block. Even the littlest swipe of your pencil with that Payne's gray lays down the color. Finger blend. Any questions? Good night, Sandy. Now I'm going to bring that gray down to the front. We'll add a little bit of it to the pink. Does not take much. Finger blend. Okay. Now we have a quilt on top of a blanket. So I'm going to take a little bit of the gray and we're going to shade in that difference. My Linda, so glad to see you. All right, finger blend. Check it out. Look at the whole effect that we have. Okay, and I'm just going to add a little more gray over here. Okay. Now I'm going to pop up, since I've got my gray in hand, I'm going to pop up to my sugar plum fairies, and we're going to add a little bit of shadow. Oh no, the Amazon Basic pencils hold their point beautifully. And we're going to take a little bit of our Payne's Gray, and we're very subtly going to add shadow around it. Blossom Amazon Basics pencils are absolutely wonderful. Now again, I don't want you to add just a blunt line. I want that smoothed out as we move away from the leg. Okay. And if you absolutely have to, thank you, my Linda, for sharing that. Mamie, I didn't see it last night. Did we get my Linda's group shared in the chat? Okay. Mamie, go ahead and share it again. Now, notice how these fairies, my Linda, you heard me calling in your sleep last night. That's interesting. What was I saying? Now remember, we got to peter out this color as we get away from the area that we've shadowed. Now this shadowing is very subtle. And technically speaking, you wouldn't see this in front of a window. But we're going to play with that a little bit. No problem, Mamie. Blossom, I bet you do. Blending, 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 rawhide. Maggie actually came up with that one day. Oh yeah, this green fairy with the red heart. Yeah. Who remembers what I had to do to the red heart to keep it sticking to the page? And why did I have to do that in the first place? That's right, Kitty. I had to cut slits in the back of it with a knife, an X-Acto knife, so it would still stick to the page after I glued it. The back of the heart was so shiny and smooth that when I put glue on it, it kept popping off even after it dried. So when it popped out, I turned it over and carefully scratched in, cut in slits. So there's a little trick for you if you have stuff that doesn't want to stick to the page. Okay, middle fairy. Again, I'm not using black, I'm using Payne's Gray. Yeah, maybe go ahead and put that Kitty's YouTube link up as well. Now let's get this shading underneath this wing. And then let's add this along the bottom, just a very subtle addition. And be absolutely sure that you blend it out. What do you guys think of this? It doesn't take much. Okay. Next fairy. That's exactly right, Blossom, and that's what the effect that I want. Hey, Art Angel. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. All right, very light shading here underneath. and finger blend. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my Payne's Gray and I'm just going to put a little bit of shading underneath the puff of the hat. Much better. Now there's something in the hand here, and quite honestly I'm not going to worry about it, so I'm going to color that over in blue. The watermelon fairy pajamas, yep. Okay, let's get this last fairy shaded. So Art, what's been going on with you? Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. Ignore it, don't respond. Okay, see how I'm blending out this shading? And blend it out. All right, just a little bit of this gray as we get into the window area. All right. A little bit of shading in between the legs. and then up the back of the little skirt, jacket, whatever you want to call it. And of course, finger blend that to soften it. All right. So what do you think? So check out the shading around the fairies, which brings them forward now. Actually, the wall to the left is done. It's just a very light color. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring in a little bit of my iridescent glue, glitter glue. Oh, before I do that, we've got two little dolls that are floating around. We need to put a little bit of shading around them. Shadowing, excuse me. Finger blend, of course. Janie, good night. Janie, I'm so glad that you pop in. Okay. Glitter glue. Iridescence. I'm going to put a little bit on my swirls. Now, it's just going to be enough to shine this up, and notice again that it's basically just on the swirls. You don't need much. We've got a little bit around the doll here. Any questions about that? We just want a little bit of shine on those swirls. Now, the very last thing I'm going to do, one more thing on the quilt. Is I'm going to take my ultra fine point Sharpie and on some of these quilt pieces, I'm just going to put little teeny tiny X's. Where some of these patches are sewn in. Check it out. I mean, these are really small. Oh, I have a couple of patches, or not patches, but, well, yeah, patches over here. Where we didn't color in the pattern. Sorry about that. All right, Blossom, you have a great rest of the evening. All right, let's do a few more of these quilted pieces. And again, notice that I'm making this teeny tiny. All right, a couple more in the upper left and we will be good to go. So guys, what do you think? Now, I want you to notice that when that marker dries, it lightens up. So you're not going to have this sticking out like a sore thumb. All right. I think we can call this one done. What do you think? Perfectly doable piece. It is not complicated. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Next project. I hope you enjoyed doing this with me. Okay, so this is from Christmas Magic. And last night I was working on the candle glow and how it's affecting the pieces that the mice are holding. Well, there's Paul. Hi, Paul. Paul, we just finished our sugar plum picture. So I'm officially calling this one done. I think it turned out pretty well. All righty. So, Paul, are you on your break? What's going on? Now, we have a shadow from or a light spot from our candle. And I showed you that on this little sock that we hung up here. We have two areas that are a little bit lighter because of that reflection of the candle. Paul, how's your wrist? And then we had a little bit of a light area on our mouse. And now I'm going to add a little bit of light area to our sock. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm using a mechanical pencil. And I'm very, very lightly going to draw in where my circle of light is. Now, you got to be careful with pencil because once you put it on your page, especially if you color over it, it's a little hard to erase off. Paul, have you been able to sketch? Okay. Let's start doing this sock. And I'm going to start at the edge of where my candle light would be. And then we'll come down here. And then we'll come down here. And then I'm going to pop in a little bit of pink on these circles. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and make that heel pink. All right. And then we're going to come back, and the area that is in the dark portion, we'll make that a darker blue. Now, don't forget to touch your finger to the marker because it leaves that little dot of moisture when you pick up the point. Okay. And then, to create the effect, hold on, got to fix a couple areas. Then I'm going to come in with a light blue pencil on that left edge. And right away, you'll see how that's going to make it look like it's in that light. It makes for a really cool effect. Whoops, I missed an area here. And then the next part will be my light pink. And then the toe, the part near the light will be a light green. And the part near the back will be a dark green. Okay. Let's pull out and take a look at that. Now let's do our sock here on the top, our cuff. And then our part in the light area, our lighter orange. And of course, blend that line between the two. Okay, guys, I am at a good stopping point. We got a lot done tonight. We got a little bit done on our mouse picture. The only thing I have to do is finish up the socks, the floor, and do a little shading on the wall. And then, drum roll, we finished, yay. 'Twas the night before Christmas Jubilee. I hope you enjoyed coloring this with me and watching how I did it. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous coloring. Let's see if we can get this focused. Love on each other, that's what our group is known for. Good night, Paul. Please share this broadcast. And please hit that like button. Now, I'm going to say Happy New Year to Maggie and Mamie because they will not be here tomorrow night. So, Maggie, Mamie, Happy New Year. Maggie, thank you so much for that money for my pizza tomorrow. Pizza, chicken wings. What an unexpected pleasure. All right, guys, take care. I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. Okay, guys, take care. Thank you, Mamie. Bye.